Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to this story. Today, I will tell you something that might change your life. This is not just an English story. It is a message, a light, for anyone who feels lost, tired, or stuck. If you are learning English or just trying to become better in life, this story is for you. Sometimes we wait for a big moment to change our life. But sometimes a small story can give us that moment. One idea, one voice, one message. Today's message is simple. You can change your life. Let me tell you about a young man named Adam. He was 24 years old. He had finished university and had a degree. But still he had no job. He had dreams, but no direction. Every day he woke up tired, even after sleeping all night. He was not working. He was not learning. He was just existing. He felt lost. Adam used to sit in his small room and look at his phone for hours. He saw his friends getting jobs, getting married, and starting businesses. But Adam? He did nothing. He was still in the same place. Every time he looked in the mirror, he felt pain in his heart. He would ask himself, "Why am I like this? Why can't I move forward?" But he never had an answer. One day, Adam went to a tea shop near his house. It was a small place with old wooden chairs and a kind tea seller. Adam ordered chai and a biscuit and sat down. Next to him sat an old man. He had white hair, dark skin, and soft, kind eyes. He looked wise like someone's grandfather. The old man looked at Adam and said, "Looking for something?" Adam smiled and replied, "Yes, my life." The man laughed gently and said, "Then stop looking down and start looking up." Adam was confused. "What do you mean?" he asked. The man pointed to Adam's phone and said, "Everything you want is not inside that screen. It is inside you. But you have to wake it up." Adam didn't understand fully, but his heart felt something. The man sipped his tea slowly and said again, "Young man, you can sleep with your eyes open for years, and many people do. But life starts when you stop blaming others and start becoming who you're meant to be." That night, Adam couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the old man's words. "Wake it up," he whispered to himself. "Stop blaming and start becoming." He looked around his room. It was small, but he had books. He had a pen. He had a notebook. He had everything except one thing: willpower. So Adam made a decision, a real one. No more wasting time, no more late nights, no more saying tomorrow. He decided to take back control of his life slowly, step by step. His first step was simple. He said, "I will give 1 hour every day to improve myself." Just 1 hour. That's how he started. And what did he choose to learn? English. Adam chose English because he believed it could open many doors. With English, he could get better jobs, talk to more people, and understand the world better. He didn't have money to join a class or buy expensive courses, but he had YouTube. He had the internet. He searched for "Learn English through stories." He found many channels. He listened to short stories every day. He kept a notebook and wrote new words. He repeated sentences again and again. At first, it was very hard. He didn't understand much. Sometimes he got bored. Sometimes he wanted to quit. But he remembered the old man's words. "Wake it up." Adam woke up early the next day. He made a cup of tea and sat with his notebook. His room was quiet. No noise, no phone, just him and his goal. He opened YouTube again and played another English story. This time he tried to understand more. He paused the video after each sentence. He repeated the words. He copied them into his notebook. He wrote the meanings. He practiced saying them out loud. It was hard. His tongue did not move easily. Some words felt strange. Some sentences were too fast. But he kept going. He said to himself, "If others can do it, I can too." He didn't wait to be perfect. He just tried. After a few days, he noticed something. He understood more words. He could repeat simple sentences. He even started thinking in English, small thoughts like "I am hungry" or "let's go outside." These small changes gave him hope. But not everything was easy. One day he felt very low. He had studied for 2 weeks, but he still couldn't speak fluently. His cousin laughed at him. "Why are you wasting time learning English? It won't change anything," he said. Adam felt hurt. He closed his notebook and put it away. That night he stared at the ceiling. Doubt filled his mind. Maybe he's right. Maybe this is useless, Adam whispered. But then he remembered the old man's face. He remembered the words, "Stop blaming and start becoming." Adam sat up in bed and said, "I'm not doing this for them. I'm doing this for me." He picked up his notebook again. He opened the same story video and pressed play. This time, he listened with more heart, more focus. He promised himself, "I will not stop." The next morning, something changed. His mother came into his room and saw him reading aloud in English. She smiled and said, "You sound different." That small smile gave Adam power. He felt strong again. After 1 month, Adam started speaking short sentences with confidence. He could say things like, "My name is Adam. I am learning English. I like stories." These were small, simple lines, but they were a big victory for him. He also noticed something else. His mindset was changing. He didn't waste time on social media. He didn't scroll aimlessly anymore. He read, he wrote, he practiced. And most importantly, he believed in himself. After 1 month of learning English every day, Adam felt a new energy inside him. He still didn't speak fluently, but something had changed. He no longer felt like a lost person. He was becoming someone new, someone who tried, someone who didn't give up. For the first time in many years, Adam was proud of himself. His notebook was full of new words and short sentences. He listened to one English story every morning and practiced in front of the mirror. He no longer laughed at himself when he made mistakes. He corrected them. He grew. One day, something happened that tested all his hard work. His uncle came from Dubai to visit the family. This uncle was successful and respected. He had a business and spoke English fluently. At dinner, the family sat together and the uncle asked, "So what are you doing these days, Adam?" Adam froze for a second. Everyone turned to look at him. His heart beat fast. His throat felt dry. But then he remembered his practice. He smiled and replied slowly, "I am learning English. Every day I listen to stories and practice speaking." His voice was not loud, but it was clear. His words were simple, but they came from the heart. There was a short silence. Then his uncle said, "That's great. English is very important. Keep going. Adam felt like a mountain had moved from his chest. He did it. He spoke English in front of people for the first time, and no one laughed. No one mocked him. His mother smiled proudly. His younger sister clapped quietly. In that moment, Adam didn't just feel like a student. He felt like a man changing his life one sentence at a time. But success doesn't always come without pain. A few days later, Adam went to a job interview. It was for a small assistant role in a private school. He was excited because they wanted someone who could speak basic English. He dressed well, combed his hair, and took his notebook with him. He was nervous, but hopeful. When he entered the office, the interviewer looked at his CV and asked, "Do you have experience?" Adam replied honestly, "No, but I am learning. I am ready to work hard." The man looked at him and said, "We need someone fluent. Maybe try next year." Adam walked out of the building feeling broken. The sun was hot. The streets were noisy, but inside he felt cold and alone. "Why am I trying so hard?" he thought. "No one sees my effort. No one gives me a chance." That evening, he sat in his room in silence. He didn't touch his notebook. He didn't open YouTube. He just sat there, staring at the wall, feeling like a failure. Then, he heard a knock. His father entered the room. He was a quiet man who didn't talk much. He sat beside Adam and said, "You didn't get the job?" Adam shook his head. His eyes were red, but he didn't cry. His father looked at him and said something he never forgot. "You didn't fail today. You just didn't finish yet. Life tests the ones who try." That line gave Adam strength again. Maybe the world didn't give him a chance today, but it will be tomorrow, if he kept going. He picked up his notebook again. He opened his favorite English video again. And this time, his heart was stronger. Weeks passed. Adam didn't stop. He continued waking up early, listening to English stories, writing down new words, and speaking in front of the mirror. His notebook had become his best friend. It was full of his progress. His handwriting had improved, his vocabulary had grown, and something even bigger had changed, his confidence. He no longer waited for someone to give him an opportunity. He was ready to create one. One day, while sitting in the same tea shop where he once met the old man, Adam heard two young boys talking at the next table. They were struggling with English homework. One boy said, "I hate English. I can't understand anything." Adam looked at them and smiled. He didn't want to interfere, but something inside him said, "Help them." So he gently asked, "Do you want help?" The boys looked at him and said, "Can you explain this?" Adam took a deep breath, looked at the book, and slowly explained the paragraph to them in simple words. They understood. Their faces lit up with joy. One of them said, "You explain better than our teacher." Adam laughed. But in that moment, something clicked in his mind. He realized, I can teach, I can help, I know how it feels to struggle. That evening, Adam wrote a simple message and shared it on a local Facebook group. Free English help for beginners. If you are afraid of English, I was too. Let's learn together. He didn't expect much, but within a few hours, people started replying. A young girl from his street said, "My sister needs help." A shopkeeper messaged, "Can you help me speak basic English with customers?" Adam was surprised. People were looking for help just like he had been months ago, and now he could offer it. He started with small group sessions at home. 3 people came on the first day, then 5, then 10. He taught them the way he had taught himself, with simple stories, short sentences, and speaking practice. He told them, "Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I made hundreds, but each mistake taught me something." His students felt safe. They didn't feel judged. They laughed. They asked questions, and most importantly, they believed in themselves again. Word spread in the neighborhood. People started calling him Sir Adam. Children greeted him with smiles. Some parents came to thank him. One woman cried and said, "My son used to hide when it was English class. Now he waits for your lesson." These words touched Adam deeply. He never imagined he could have this kind of impact. But Adam didn't stop there. He created a small YouTube channel and started recording simple English videos. He used the same tone, the same stories, and the same love that helped him learn. Slowly, his videos got views. People commented on things like, "I finally understand English," or "You explain like a friend, not a teacher." He wasn't famous, he wasn't rich, but he was helping people. And that made him feel like the richest man alive. One day, while walking in the market, he saw the same old man from the tea shop, the one who had said, "Stop looking down and start looking up." Adam smiled and walked to him. The old man looked at him and said, "You found it, didn't you?" Adam nodded and said, "Yes, I found my life." They sat together and drank tea again. But this time, Adam had stories to share. Stories of students, of smiles, of hope. The old man looked at him and said, "You didn't just change your life. You are changing the lives of others too." Adam looked up at the sky and whispered, "Thank you." Months passed. Adam's life was no longer the same. He had started from a small, dark room where he felt lost and alone. Now he was standing in light, not because his problems disappeared, but because he had changed from the inside. He still lived in the same house. He still didn't have a high-paying job, but something inside him had become rich: his mind, his heart, and his purpose. His YouTube channel grew slowly but steadily. People from different cities and even other countries started watching his videos. Some of them sent him messages like, "Your stories helped me start again," and "I was afraid to speak English, but now I speak every day because of you." These words meant more to Adam than money ever could. He had never traveled far, but his voice had reached hearts all over the world. One day, he received a message from a small learning center in his city. They were organizing a community event for English learners. They asked him, "Would you like to come and speak about your journey?" At first, Adam was shocked. "Me? A speaker?" He was just an ordinary boy with no perfect accent, no big certificate. But then he remembered he had something better: experience, honesty, and heart. He said yes. The day of the event arrived. He wore a simple white shirt and black trousers. His hands were shaking, his legs felt weak, but when he stepped onto the stage and saw the faces in front of him, young boys, girls, mothers, fathers, all waiting to hear something hopeful, he forgot his fear. He took a deep breath and spoke in simple English. "My name is Adam. A few months ago, I had nothing, no job, no confidence, and no direction. I felt small, invisible, and broken. I thought my life would never change, but one sentence changed everything. Stop blaming and start becoming. That sentence made me open my eyes. It made me stop wasting time. It made me believe that I could learn, even if I started small. He paused. The room was silent. I practiced speaking in front of a mirror. I failed many times. People laughed at me. Some told me to stop, but I didn't stop, because I was not learning English to impress anyone. I was learning to find myself. He looked at the audience. Their eyes were wide, their hearts open. "Friends," he said, "I am not better than you. I didn't go to a big school. I didn't study abroad. I just made a choice to change my life, 1 hour, 1 word, 1 day at a time. And if I can do it, you can too." The hall broke into applause. Some people cried. Some stood up and clapped. Adam smiled. It was the smile of someone who had walked through the dark and found his own light. And now, he was using that light to guide others. After the event, a little boy came to him and said, "Sir, one day, I want to be like you." Adam bent down, looked into his eyes, and said, "No. One day, you will be better than me. Just don't stop." That night, Adam sat in his room just like before. But this time, the silence felt peaceful, not empty. He looked at his old notebook, now full from start to end, and he smiled. He whispered to himself, "This is not the end. This is just the beginning." Dear listener, you may be like Adam once was, feeling small, weak, or afraid. But remember this: you don't need a perfect start. You just need a strong decision. Start with 1 word, 1 story, 1 sentence. Your future is waiting for you. Don't wait for a perfect time. Make now your time. You can change your life, and it starts with believing that you can.